look at me.
To the thousands in attendance and the millions of viewers around the world, we welcome you to the City of Beavercreek Department of Parks, Recreation, and Culture Board monthly board meeting for February 11th, 2020. We are having a good time tonight, so let's keep it going with a roll call, Jackie.
Mr. Corbett.
Here.
Mrs. Fulcher.
Here.
Mr. Tips.
Here.
Mrs. Meyer and Mrs. Heaton are with us tonight or not with us tonight?
Thank you, Jack. You have before you the agenda for this evening's meeting. If you've had a minute to look at that, I will accept the motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
Small group tonight. So all in favor? Aye. The agenda is approved. And the same for the minutes. You have minutes from our January 14th meeting before you. Thank you for providing those, Jackie. And if I see no changes, if you see no changes, I'll accept the motion to approve those as well.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
So those are approved. Which moves us into the division report. Aaron, welcome.
All right, good evening. In front of you, you have our 2019 annual report for the Beavercreek Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division. If you have looked at our annual report in the past, you'll notice we completely redid the formatting this year. So we hope you like it. Would appreciate any feedback on whether it gives you more useful information, less useful information, and changes you'd like to see in the future, or any questions that you have. I'm not going to go through it page by page with you, but for our viewers, this will be posted online on our website very soon, so you'll be able to view it page by page if you'd like. I do want to go through a few of the highlights, as well as, of course, some of our upcoming events and annual or highlights of what's going on, not just last year, but right now in this current year. So. We always start with our February benefit, our monthly benefit of Parks, Recreation, and Culture. And this month it is that parks have a value higher than the dollars invested or revenues gained from fees. They also provide a sense of public pride and cohesion to every community. We've got a winter scene of the Creekside Trail there, and that looks like most days we've been having lately with a little more snow. Our snow's been melting a lot. So a few highlights moving over into the senior center side of things. Memberships increased this year. You hear this story most every year, but in fact in 2018 we actually saw memberships dip versus 2017 by just a little bit, and then they bounced right back up and actually surpassed membership numbers for 2017 or 2018 and 2019. My best guess for this is that in 2017 is when we opened the expanded, renovated senior center sections, and we saw a jump at that point, and I think some of those fell off then in 2018, and then they came right back to us and even more in 2019. Eric's giving me a look like he's got a question about that, but he's saying he doesn't. So we're at higher membership numbers than we've seen ever before. So when our staff says it feels like it's busy here all the time, it's also because our higher members means more visits, means more phone calls, means more programming, more people with coming into the center and wanting to have some fun with us. I definitely want to shout out our volunteers. We try to give them as much recognition as we can because boy do they do a lot for us. We've got a team of 5 people, that's 3 full-time and 2 part-time at the senior center, and we could definitely not offer all that we do without all the volunteers. We've got, in 2019, 147 senior center volunteers. We're always trying to keep that number at least steady, if not growing, as our needs continue to increase. Our transportation program is one of the ones that gets a lot of attention because it runs every single day with volunteer drivers and escorts and schedulers, Monday through Friday. But in total, we've got volunteers all over the senior center doing a whole bunch of different things, and they logged over 11,000 hours in 2019. I think this number is actually low compared to the amount of hours that actually were worked. We have a lot of volunteers who might forget to or neglect to actually log the right amount of hours that they're actually spending. We've got some volunteers who are at the senior center a whole lot. So we so appreciate all they do. And if you take the most recent rate of the value of volunteer time, this is the national rate that they figure out at $25.43 an hour is the national rate of volunteer time. So that means they saved the city $285,803. And I see Eric's going to check my math.
No, I was thinking it's over 5 full-time people.
It's a, yes.
That's what I was gonna do with math.
Oh, great. Yes, perfect. Talking about our transportation program, just under 10,000 trips were completed in 2019, and it was also our first full year with our new transportation software, the EcoLane program. All of the vans have a tablet on them that is showing real-time status and mapping of how long it's going to take to get to the next stop, and you say, yep, I picked this person up. It tells you what your next trip is, and the schedulers are using that as well. They can make real-time changes if someone cancels or if someone's running late. All of those changes happen in real time on those tablets. So it is a big program. It's taken a little while to learn to use, and transportation still takes up a lot of our time between staff time and volunteer time, but it has certainly helped us move into the modern age and be able to make those changes versus when we were back on just paper schedules. Somebody changed, we had to make sure we made phone calls to everyone and everyone scratched out and changed their schedule for the day and all of that good stuff. We also had 3 new instructors come on board in 2019, and I'll be excited to tell you about in 2020 we've already gotten actually more than 3 new instructors probably already in 2019, but they started teaching chair yoga, Zumba Gold, and Tai Chi. Chair yoga is a new class for us in 2019. Zumba Gold and Tai Chi were classes that we could no longer offer with Shauna Tibbs Sargent, who was hired on part-time in the spring with us, so those were classes she was looking for replacements since she had been the instructor in the past. And then you all know that Lee Dutiel retired in the fall, so well, you miss him. You met Tyler last month, and Tyler is here with us again tonight as the new Senior Center Supervisor. At some point, we'll stop calling him the new Senior Center Supervisor, but it's only been a month.
You get 3 months, Tyler.
All right, and to talk about a few upcoming events, speaking of Tyler, he's going to put on some Friday fitness orientations over at the Senior Center. We noticed a lot of our members are wondering about some of the equipment they're less familiar with, want somebody to show them maybe better than they might have gotten a tour, maybe not when they join the Senior Center. So get some tips and safety information on how to best use the fitness
Remind
room.
me, did we get new equipment when we moved into the larger space, or is most of it?
We did get some new
Okay.
equipment, a few new pieces, and then also we got more freestanding weights and benches to put in
Okay.
the front so people could do some like hand weights and dumbbell type exercises. And then we do have a little bit of room that we could add a couple more pieces, and then other than that, we are now just replacing.
Thank you.
Some of those things you might notice were original to the Senior Center when we opened, 15 years ago in that location too. So we'll see that we'll need some more replacements.
And that's kind of why I asked.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
The mouse and I are really good friends. There we go. All right. We also have the Day of Caring 365 Pancake Breakfast or Brunch. You might know that this is a national event, and we are a host at the Senior Center, and you'll see some Youth Council volunteers there again this year helping to bus tables and serve meals, as well as Senior Center volunteers who always help in the kitchen. It's on Sunday, February 23rd. We hope you'll visit us at the Senior Center, and you could even make your way around Beavercreek and have some pancakes at several locations if you really want to have some fun. It is cash at the door. You can buy tickets, or you can also buy tickets ahead of time at the Senior Center. So. All right, flipping back over into some of our annual report highlights. At summer day camp, we had 530 summer camp registrations in 2019, which is more than we've ever had before. Of course, some of that is because we had a 9th week of the traditional day camp running, which in the past we had 8 weeks. And then also, we were running our specialty camp. So that 530 number is both the traditional summer day camp and the specialty summer day camps that we ran with our seasonal staff, our camp counselors. We do have day camps that's not included in this number that are some of like our specialty sports camps and things like that. If you go to a Skyhawks or Jumpstart golf camp or soccer camp that we are partnering with at our parks, that number is not included in here.
Dramatic pause.
Yes, dramatic pause for lots of effect. Oh, okay. All right. I also mentioned earlier that we hired Shauna as our part-time recreation coordinator. She oversees all the contracted instructors, also our facility rentals at CI Beaver Hall and our meeting room reservations at Lafino Plaza, and then also helps out with senior center operations. And then we also had several new partnerships in the recreation side. We had a partnership with the Beavercreek Clay Courts Tennis Club and did a pickleball class that we'll do again in 2020. Music Jamboree was a class that we started for little ones, toddlers, and their caregivers with Dory Phillips, who was one of our Drums Alive instructors. Our winter welcome at Wartinger Park event that was wildly successful, and big thanks again to the Beavercreek Community Library for that partnership, as well as Kiwanis Club of Beavercreek and the Beavercreek Historical Society. We also partnered with Heartfulness Center for stress management for teens. This ended up being planned in advance, but being very timely after the tornadoes hit here in our community, that we were able to offer that class for teens in the community. And then back in the spring, we also partnered with the Dayton Raiders Swim Academy for intro to swim lessons over there at their facility. So that was a great partnership we were able to form. And then I, of course, wanted to highlight, it wasn't that long ago, but our winter welcome at Wartinger Park was, of course, so fun, and we had over 900 people attending that first-time event. So that was a big success for us. You can see there a photo of carolers. All right. And we also had a great year with sponsorships. We're so thankful for the many community organizations and businesses and nonprofits that support our Parks, Recreation, and Culture events and programming that we put on. And so thanks to them, we were able to cover 85% of our special events by sponsorship dollars. So this is great. We'd love to see that number increase more and be able to offer even more for the community free of charge. All these special events that we offer don't charge for anything, unless, of course, there might be food for purchase at some of them. But beyond that, and in fact, some of them, food is free. You can see there a photo of our movie in the park. Also kids at Try a Trek. All right, this was our first year with our new recreation software called MyRec. This we started at the beginning of 2019. It included online shelter reservations. That was the first kind of the kickoff into using MyRec, was that shelter reservations went live at the beginning of January 2019, and they were now able to be requested online. So people have really been using that. We've noticed a lot of users requesting shelters online, and a lot of people excited about it when they learn that they can do that. It also meant for everybody who's registering for programs, if they weren't doing it online before because there was a fee, there's no more transaction fees online. So it's the same price whether you call in our office or come in to our office in person or register online. So we were able to implement that with MyRec. And so overall, there's an improved user experience, and it's been a great transition for us. A few upcoming events. We are offering indoor archery clinics at our municipal maintenance facility. Next week they start. Of course, Candy couldn't be here tonight, but she's one of our archery instructors, and we'll be offering these in the evening. Inside, we won't have to worry about the weather or the daylight. So this is the first time we've offered archery inside. As you might remember, we received a grant in 2019 to purchase our own archery equipment. So we are excited, and we're going to offer not only beginner archery clinics, but also intermediate archery clinics for the first time. So we'll see some people who've come to our beginner clinics in the past be able to continue and further their skills. If you're interested in signing up for those, make sure you get online or give us a call soon, as they are starting to fill up. Kim, I bet you're so looking forward to your part of the presentation.
I figured it's just done.
We're just done. Oh, okay. Maybe if we hit the arrow? I don't know. Adult softball registration is now open. We've been offering adult softball for a long time. We'll continue to do so as long as teams want to sign up. And play will begin mid-April. Our managers meeting is actually the last week of March. So registration's open. Make sure you get your team together. You can secure a spot right now without putting all of your money down. You can put $100 down right now to secure your spot if you're trying to get that money from all your players for now. But give us a call or get on MyRec and get signed up. Thank you, Kim. And summer camp registration will be available soon. So summer camp information is available online at MyRec. You can view all of the themes for the week, the schedule, the fees. There's early bird discounts available if you register before April 15th, and that registration will open on March 2nd. So you can check your schedules, get ready, set up your accounts on MyRec, and then plan to register on March 2nd. We're going to offer 9 weeks again this year, and we are going to expand our capacity thanks to our partnership with Beavercreek Schools and Fairbrook Elementary School. We'll be able to take more kids at traditional camp, and we are not going to offer the specialty camps this year. So we'll have more kids available or spaces available. Plus, we're expanding the age to 13 instead of a max age of 12. And now it's Kim's turn.
You were doing so well. I thought you were just
Oh. I don't know how to transition to that.
Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.
Any questions real quick on that part of the report? For okay, great. Thank you.
And you can save your questions for the end. That's fine too.
It won't answer your question.
Thank you.
Sure, she
Jim.
will. Don't get too comfortable, Aaron. So we're flipped over to the park side. And we've, through the recreation, senior center, and certainly parks, we've just kind of given you snippets of our 2019. I don't know that there's enough space or there's enough time for park board to kind of list out everything that we accomplished. I'll say it's really impressive the things that we got done with the amount of staff that we have. So I don't think we thank our staff enough, but we really do rely on them, and I know the community relies on them, and they really support everything that we do. So, I want to thank the community also, which quite frankly brings us right to the very first thing. The big hurdle that we overcame was passing our parks levy. Last year we were up for a renewal, and we went continuous. It's a 0.9 mil continuous levy with an additional 0.3 mil added in. So that'll keep us at our level, our funding that we've been at. We've had this conversation a few times, but because we're taking over Rotary Park, we used to split that with the township. So that kind of added that we needed to make sure that we had the funding we are now 100% funding for Rotary Park. So if anybody's wondering, if you drive past Rotary Park, there's a logo on one side and no logo on the other side. We just got the new logos in, and Rotary Park is now a city-owned park, and obviously we'll continue to maintain it as we have been. Last year, we also completed our 10-year master plan. That was a huge undertaking, very exciting, but that basically is creating our roadmap for the next 10 years. We've got kind of our next 5 years plotted out, but I want to also thank those that were part of any of the focus groups, stakeholder groups. Certainly we had a couple people from our park board sitting on our steering committee. We had probably a good 12 to 15 people on that, and then just help with different meetings and keeping everything on track. It was a great experience, and so looking forward to fulfilling everything that we're set out to do for the next 10 years. And then it'll be pretty close. I'll help with the next one, and then I'll pass that document on to the next. And then we were also able to add a couple new parking lots. You'll remember, hopefully fondly, we replaced the playground at Shout Park. It was wildly successful, so much so we ran out of parking and people were parking all over the street. So last year we were able to add additional parking. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't park on the street, go into the parking lot, and it's pretty much, if you drive straight, you can't miss it. So please utilize that, stay off the street. And then we were also able to get additional parking for the senior center. I say it's right across the street. I don't know that that's the right terminology, but there is an additional parking. It's about 32 spots. This summer we're actually going to be putting in lights, and that's through the Community Development Block Grant. So this summer the parking lot will also be lit up. But we have also noticed with Lafino Plaza, Community Theater, all the things that are going on at the senior center, sometimes we just run out of room and people are just parking wherever. So this additional parking will help out a lot as we continue to get busy. Also last year we installed 4 new playgrounds. 3 of those we were able to do because of a grant through Game Time. We only had a couple playgrounds planned out, but because of a grant we were able to replace 3. That was at E.J. Nutter Park, Stafford Park, and Seville Parks. So really excited to have all of those in. And then the last playground we did was at MyRec Park. So we were able to get a few small pieces out there along with the shade structure. If you haven't been by there, we also now put in the playground barrier. So there's a plastic barrier around which will help keep the mulch out. We finished the drainage project. We still have to work on the bridge a little bit, but for the most part that park is complete. Last year we were also, that was our first year as Tree City USA designation. Really excited to have that be a part of the city of Beavercreek, and want to thank the Tree Advisory Board for helping us with that. And last fall we planted 74 trees. Certainly prior to May of 2019, their plan was to start planting more trees. We lost a lot with the emerald ash borer, but then from Memorial Day weekend and the tornado, we lost a whole lot more. So 74 trees were planted, mostly through city, but then we also had some groups that donated money for trees, and we had an Eagle Scout at Spicer Heights that planted, I believe, about a dozen trees, and he helped fundraise for those. Vanna? Last week, our Parks Department was given an OPRA Award. That's the Ohio Parks and Recreation Association. This was an initiative through Play Court and Game Time. So the 3 playgrounds that I brought up, Stafford, Nutter, and Seville, are now part of a nationwide demonstration site. We are promoting Play Initiative. When you go out to those parks, there's going to be a QR code. If you have the QR code app, certainly you can snap it that way, or you can also use your camera. But it brings up a brief survey, and it's just getting an idea of how people use the park and how they use the playground. We were really excited to get this. There was 11 cities that received this award, and very happy to be one of those. So I want to thank Playcore and Game Time, and then certainly OPRA for recognizing that. And again, our community, they helped us design those playgrounds. So kind of get an idea of what they wanted, and with their help, were able to put it together. And all of them, Nutter, I think, was in the fall, but most of them were still during good weather, so hopefully everybody enjoyed last summer, and we've got a whole lot more to, spring will be here before you know it, so be able to get out and enjoy those at that time. Some of the upcoming projects that we have over the next few weeks, this pretty much just covers the end of February and into March. We have a few more of those playground barriers that we have to install. That'll go at Hunter's Ridge and Walnut Grove. Again, it just kind of gives us a boundary around the playground, around the swing set, and helps keep the mulch where it's supposed to be instead of in the grass. So looking forward to having those in. And then we still have a piece at Gershbacher Park that we need to install. It's this wiggle worm, but without the face. So it's just the green piece, and that's kind of for the younger kids. So we've had that, and we just need to get that installed, and that'll be in soon. Also, we have over the past few years, and again, it was part of becoming a Tree City USA. We have been sending staff members to Tree Commission Academy, and that is so as we go, we're learning about trees, we're learning about soil, we're learning about planting the right tree in the right place, and really how to plant a tree so trees thrive. So there's not always just like, hey, let's plant a tree, stick it out there, it'll be great. Although that's great, it doesn't always work out that way. So there is a nice recipe for planting trees, and that's some of the things that we've been learning about. I graduated from Tree Academy last year. We have 1 staff member and 3 of our tree advisory boards graduating in April, and then we have 4 other staff members finishing up their sophomore year this year, so they'll graduate next year. So it's really exciting. Some of it is a bit dry, but great information. I'm not going to lie. But it's great information to have, and really looking forward to all our staff members getting through that and learning more about how to prune a tree, how to plant them, so all the proper procedures. And a big undertaking for this year is our department is going after the CAPRA certification, or the accreditation. So we hope by the end of 2021 we will be a CAPRA accredited division, which basically means we are looking at all our standards, our practices, our procedures, and getting them up to standard with the NRPA, the National Recreation and Parks Association. There's a few other agencies out there that have that, but this just shows the community, shows the state that we're serious about what we're doing, and we want to make sure that we're achieving high expectations and achieving those high standards. So our staff will be working through the self-assessment over the next year, and then in 2021 is when we'll have visitations, and in the fall of 2021 we should get the accreditation. So, and that's every 5-year renewal. So it'll be exciting, but a lot of hard work. So, and 'tis the season to hire. We have a lot of positions available, all seasonal, within our parks maintenance, camp counselor, camp director. We have a couple interns. This is just on the park side. Golf is also hiring. So if you're interested in working out of the golf course, again, whether it's maintenance or as a cart attendant, I would assume in the banquet also. But if you're looking for a seasonal job, you want to work for the city of Beavercreek, there's really no reason you shouldn't be able to find something in your niche. There is a job fair next Saturday morning from 9 to 11:30 at Lafino Plaza. You're asked to bring your resume if you have it, be ready to fill out an application. And over the past few years, we have been doing interviews on site. So depending on the personnel that we have there, we can do an interview. No need to bring you back another time. Do it there and take care of the process. If you're not able to make it on that day, it's okay. Fill out an application and we'll reach out. And we are also hiring year-round part-time building attendants. And then we did just have a park maintenance part-time position open up. That'll be posted soon. So again, City of Beavercreek is a great place to work, whether it's seasonal, part-time, or full-time. So we'll have a lot of positions opening up soon. And we have a superintendent for public service open right now too. So Aaron is happy to answer any questions that you might have. Tyler, too, I'm sure.
So Aaron, no, just kidding. I do have one. The CAPRA certification. That may be redundant to say it that way. Does the C stand for certification? No, okay, good. The commission, okay.
Commission.
So CAPRA certification, do you need help with that? Is that something that the board would be involved in any way?
That is a fantastic question.
Okay.
Right now, we have different standards that each of the staff members are taking a look at. But I think as we get through the process, it would be great to have some fresh eyes. We have all the standards listed out, and then we'll be providing documentation. But absolutely, it would be great for the park board to kind of do that second check and say, oh, this doesn't make sense, or we're in it all the time, so it may make sense to us. But absolutely.
Okay, good. Well, just as you get through it, and I mean, I've been through some of those in my area, and they can be very time consuming for sure, and monotonous after a while. But as you get through it, if there's an opportunity, I'm sure myself and some of the other board members would be happy to help any way we can.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, we would appreciate that.
Okay. Anybody else have questions on the reports? No? Yeah, this is great. I love the infographic piece in there. And it's bound really well, Jackie, I have to say. Thank you. Takes us to old business, volunteer opportunities. Are there any that the board needs to be aware of the upcoming month? Okay. We're not far away, and probably be another. Well, we're rethinking the parks, the Party in the Parks program. By rethinking, does that mean we may not do anything this summer, or we haven't decided yet?
We will still do things this summer,
Okay.
and I will let you know
Okay.
what that means
Okay.
in the coming months.
Right. But I was just thinking as my head, we're starting to get close to the point where we'll start talking about when those are, and
Yeah.
when you'll need volunteers.
Absolutely.
So I didn't mean to put you on the spot, as far as you know. And no, I'm just kidding.
I can share the first big special event that we will request help for is April 25th. It's a Saturday. Our Soar into Spring, which we used to call Summer Kickoff and Kite Fly. Same event, updated name.
Awesome. I mean, it's early February, but it's going to be April, like, before you know it. So, thank you. And then a couple other things in old business. Our pre-work session tonight, we talked about the volunteer appreciation event, which is coming up on April. The date just escaped me.
21st.
April 21st, where we're always excited to represent the great volunteers we have here in the Beavercreek community. And then one of our board projects this year was try to attempt to communicate better with the number of recreation-related partners that we have in the community, and we'll soon start reaching out to them, asking for an opportunity for us to come and talk to them a little bit about our role, about how important they are, and to gather feedback on how they'd like to continue to network and communicate to serve our community best. Anything you guys want to add on old business?
No.
And then moving to new business, Park Foundation is one. I wasn't able to attend the last meeting, so Kim, I don't know if you have an update on that you'd like to share. I know we were looking at kind of our charter or constitution moving forward. So what you got?
Pretty much what you just said. That's what we've got, about 8 or 9 individuals
Right. Really good, diverse
committed
group,
to
yeah.
this foundation. So we're working through that constitution. We'll be meeting monthly over the next few months just to kind of knock that out. But I just wanted to make sure it was part of the agenda, and kind of, because I think we have some really good momentum rolling on this, and I just want to make sure that the park board's aware what's going on, because we're going to start talking about like different events or fundraising, or just what the foundation is going to do in the future.
Right. Yeah, I think we're probably not too far from going public, for really lack of a better
Yeah.
term,
I agree.
with what we want to do. So that's good. Thank you, Kim. Cultural Arts Connection. I don't have any information on that.
No, you don't.
Okay.
I add these
So moving
things,
on.
and I'm like, it'd be great if you could just talk about it, but I guess you want the information.
It's,
And again, so we've talked, Sandy Font has come up and just to our park board meetings and just kind of given an update. I don't think she was able to come tonight, so she's kind of transitioning and heading to Florida here soon, if not already. But Cultural Arts Connection is still going strong. The gallery, if you haven't made your way over there in the Fino Plaza, Susie Scott has done a tremendous job. And again, for 2020, every single month is booked with a local artist. So we're really excited, and it's all different. It's like photography or oil paintings or watercolors, and they have all been amazing. So that is going strong. Jennifer Schaup with the Piano Preparatory School is also in that committee, and she has started a chamber music series. They just had Danny Voris last month, or I guess this month in February. And then the next one will be coming up in April, so I'll make sure I send that information out. Rosemarie Meyer has been working with a group of individuals and putting together a writers group, and just kind of helping people if they want to put down their memoirs for their grandkids. This past year, somebody was writing a cookbook and just wanted to have some like funny little anecdotes. And so it's just a group of people coming together. Here's what I want to do, but I don't know how to get it on paper. And then this fall, they're also going to be working on a speaker series. So right now, the theme is kind of the theater. So somebody talking about backstage, what might happen backstage at the Schuster Theater, maybe wardrobe, set design, just something each month, or all around the theater. So it's pretty good. It's exciting to see what the group has come together. They're all from different backgrounds, all different styles of art, if you will, but coming together nicely. And so we'll just kind of keep pumping information out and sharing that what they're doing.
Do you know if they plan on any kind of regular calendar? Like, is there a time of year that their calendar starts, like their planning horizon?
Yes, awesome question. So that's one of the things, the marketing pieces that they're working on. They've decided because of the theater schedule, what do they do? September to
So their season?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So nothing in the summertime. So they'll run their schedule will run with like the school or what the theater does, September to June maybe. So that's. I think next month is one of the things that they're going to start narrowing down as a marketing piece. Hey, here's who we are, here's what we do, and put some dates out there.
Well, that makes sense. You talked about Sammys Come once or twice, I think, since you really got it going, and it may make sense to find that point in their calendar where they're kind of premiering
Oh,
that information to.
that's a good idea.
To be a regular attendee, whatever that month may be, for our meeting. Cool, thank you very much for that information. And then Wardinger Park Barn, I assume there's an update?
There is
on
an
the barn?
update.
Okay.
So, if you haven't been out to Warringer Park, the barn and all its pieces are gone. They're being stored at another facility, so we still have all the timber, we still have all the wood until we figure out exactly what's going to go back on the concrete pad. The lean-to and the wall next to the lean-to, is still part of the original barn, and the lean-to are all structurally sound. We did get those checked out, so those are going to remain in place, which is kind of nice to at least have part of the barn still standing. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be developing a survey that's going to go out to the entire community, and also to like historical societies, big user, as well as master gardeners. Say, hey, what would you like to see? Would you like to see another barn? Is there something else? Would you like to just see a concrete pad, an open air shelter, a meeting space, just to kind of get an idea from the community. This is what was there, but here's some different ideas of what can go there. And then we'll just kind of see what the community would like to see and move forward with that plan. We presented to City Council a few weeks ago. And basically, when it comes down to insurance, if we rebuild a barn as is, the old barn just had electric, it didn't have heat, air, water, anything like that. If we rebuild as is, we get the exact amount that we spend. If we spend $250,000 on a barn, we get $250,000 in insurance money, but with no upgrades. If we build anything else, we get the actual cash value of what the barn was, which is about $120,000. So if we put up a shelter and it's $100,000, we get $100,000. If we put up a shelter that's $150,000, we get $120,000, whatever that insurance was. So we take that into effect, and then also, again, we haven't, as a city, budgeted putting any money into the park. So, you know, we're taking that into consideration also, knowing that some of the things that we plan on putting out there would still like some upgrades. The park would certainly could use some bathrooms. It could use a better parking lot, but it's just not in the plans right now. So, you know, you'll start seeing that survey. If you have, you know, really a desire for one way or the other what should be out there, I urge you to fill out the survey. We do look at those. We do listen to our residents, and that's what we'll plan on putting up. So,
Great. Thank you.
you're welcome.
And then no unscheduled visitors tonight. Action items, I think we all have our pieces to do for the volunteer event and the partner meetings that we are aware of, which takes us down to board time at the end. Dan, do you have anything?
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Sharon?
I just wanted to chime in on the fact of the volunteer appreciation that's coming up as we come to speak to your group and let you know how much we appreciate you as a group and how we can partner. Just, you know, be open with that and, you know, with your suggestions and attend.
Great. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, and I don't have much to add. You know, the winter months are always a little bit slower on recreation and things. 1 month in, we're still glad you're here, Tyler. So, you know, that's good. Completely forgot Lee Dutil worked here, so good job. No, I kid. We love Lee, and we miss him still. I did want to congratulate you publicly. We talked a little bit before we turned the cameras on about the award for the playground. So I think we appreciate you continually looking for opportunities to improve the community, and that's a great way to continue to gather data on the playground. And then I think commitment to professional development. We saw a couple of things in the report. Between the Tree Academy and you know, the staff support to go to OPRA, it can't be understated. A lot of times that's one of the first things that kind of gets pushed to the side when you deal with budgeting and those kinds of things, because it's seen as fluff. But with the staff size you have, you're not going to be able to continually serve the needs of the community and to keep good staff if you're not doing those things. So I completely support those. I'm sure the rest of the board does as well, and we're glad that you're able to do that. And that's all I have. So with that, I would accept the motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And all in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.